Okay, let's dive right into this explainer of the absolute midnight chaos that unfolds in the Nicky Verse. Have you ever seen a situation escalate so quickly that you literally get whiplash just trying to keep up? Well, season 32, episode 4 gives us the ultimate masterclass in how a minor disagreement can spiral into total madness. Today, we're breaking down the ridiculous escalation of a simple light switch and how a seemingly harmless prank triggered a massive chain reaction of panic, defiance, and eventually, the law. To truly wrap our heads around the absurdity of this event, we're going to dissect the source material into 5 distinct chapters. The title of the episode, the plot, the characters, what will happen to Scampi, and what will happen in the next episode. Chapter 1, the title of the episode, Deconstructing Lights Out Lockdown. So, here's the crucial context. The group was already informed by reception that they are locked in until morning. Scampi and Huggy Wuggy both confirm this right at the beginning. You see, this isn't just a dark room that someone can easily walk out of. It's a true lockdown. The darkness is entirely inescapable, and that amplifies the tension tenfold, which completely explains why the group's reaction to the lights going out is so immediate and so visceral. Chapter 2, the plot, escalation of a midnight prank. The timeline of this whole thing is just incredibly rapid. I mean, a simple flick of a switch leads directly to property damage and law enforcement intervention in literally 15 minutes. At midnight, we start with mutual annoyance about the isolation. By 12:05, Scampi decides he's had enough and kills the lights. Almost instantly, the girls panic. Huggy Wuggy demands the lights come back on, Scampi refuses, and within 5 minutes, at 12:10, Huggy Wuggy dials the police. Seconds later, by 12:15, Officer Jefferson is quite literally busting down the door. It's a total masterclass in 0 to 60 escalation. Now, Scampi's underlying logic reveals a really crucial detail. He actually says, the stranger outside will think nobody's in here now. It's smart. That means there is a mysterious stranger outside the building. This single quote shifts the entire context of his action. He wasn't just doing this to be mean, you know? In his mind, he was executing a legitimate survival strategy. But there's a massive disconnect happening here. Scampi viewed his action as a smart, tactical move to hide from the stranger using stealth. He is completely ignoring the sheer terror it caused everyone else. Because to the rest of the room, this wasn't tactical at all. It was unhinged chaos that absolutely endangered their mental well-being in what was already a deeply stressful lockdown. Chapter 3, the characters. Factions of the lockdown. This pressure cooker environment actually splits the room into 3 distinct camps. First, you have the instigator, Scampi, whose single action kicks off the entire plot. Then you have the retaliators, Huggy Wuggy and Officer Jefferson, these self-appointed defenders of justice who escalate the situation just to punish the instigator. And right smack in the middle, you have the victims, Planty, Ladybird, Elodie, Biba, and Methist. Basically, the terrified girls caught in the dark who just want the nightmare to end. When you listen to the victims, they were completely unanimous in their fear, but they actually cited different reasons for it. Planty says she's just generally scared of the dark. Elodie thinks it's too spooky. Biba doesn't like it, and Amethyst just begs to keep them on. But Ladybird gives us this highly specific, chilling detail. She says the night outside with the curtains open makes it even worse. Just imagine being trapped in a pitch-black room with the curtains wide open to the night, knowing there's a stranger out there. It completely validates exactly why they were so terrified. What really stands out the most here is Huggy Wuggy's dramatic pivot. In the beginning, he and Scampi are completely aligned. They're both complaining about reception locking them in. But the second Scampi turns off the lights and the girls scream, Huggy Wuggy transforms from a frustrated roommate into a vigilant protector. He doesn't just argue with the guy, he straight up dials 911 over a light switch because he absolutely refuses to let the girls be terrorized. Chapter 4, What Will Happen to Scampi? The Arrest. So when Officer Jefferson arrives outside the door, Scampi makes the fatal error of pretending Jefferson is the stranger and telling him to screw off. Well, Scampi's defiant choice directly leads to a highly aggressive 3-step takedown. Step 1, Officer Jefferson knocks down the door with pure force. Step 2, he enters in the pitch black, grabs Scampi, and slaps the cuffs on him. And Step 3, Scampi is escorted out to face a judge. And this leads to Officer Jefferson officially bringing a hilariously specific and honestly legally questionable charge against Scampi. He tells him, "You're under arrest for scaring kids with the damn dark." I mean, that is an incredibly unique offense to be handcuffed for. But in the Nicky Verse, Officer Jefferson treats it with the absolute utmost severity. The contrast between these two is just staggering. Scampi is brushing the whole thing off as a harmless prank. He's calling the officer an asshole, completely failing to read the room. Meanwhile, Officer Jefferson is treating this like a major felony, telling him, "Tell that to the judge, dumbass." This utter lack of communication and their totally differing perceptions of reality is really what makes the confrontation so intense.
Chapter 5. What will happen in the next episode? Unanswered questions. As Scampi is being hauled away, he finally flips the switch. The room brightens, and there is an immediate wave of relief. Huggy Wuggy apologizes for Scampi's behavior, and Planty even thanks him for standing up for them. But here's the catch. Even though Scampi resolves the immediate crisis of the darkness, on his way out in cuffs, the overarching problem of the lockdown remains entirely unsolved. By the time the cops leave, there are some major narrative threads left completely unresolved. First and foremost, who exactly is the stranger Scampi was trying to hide from in the first place? Was it a real threat or just his paranoia? Second, what kind of sentence does a judge actually hand down for scaring kids with the dark? And third, they're all still locked in by reception.
Elodie's final line, "Can we all leave too, Huggy Wuggy?" perfectly captures the lingering anxiety of the remaining characters. The immediate threat of the dark is gone, and sure, the instigator has been removed, but the fundamental lack of freedom, that's still staring them right in the face.
And that leaves us with this final, provocative thought to chew on until the next episode. If Scampi was arrested to keep the room safe, are the remaining characters actually protected? Or did turning the lights back on just illuminate the room, leaving them entirely vulnerable and visible in a lockdown, with absolutely no defense against whoever or whatever that real stranger outside truly is? I'll let you ponder that. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember to keep questioning the details.